Hey Psych Chat fans, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Nikki and I'm a mental health and addiction psychotherapist. We're going to continue with the topic of romantic relationships, but for today's video we're going to focus on signs of abuse. So we can understand what healthy relationships look like, lovey-dovey, open communication. But what are the signs of abuse? Especially, what are the subtle signs of abuse? So this is something we're going to get into. Before we jump into our video, it is important that you know some of the information can be triggering. If this is the case for you, please use your strategies, use your support network, and really establish a sense of balance through those means. Also, these are just again, warning signs and just things to be mindful of. So they do not replace this video, in no sense replaces clinical services like counseling. If you're going to counseling, especially if you're going to counseling regarding any form of trauma or historical or current domestic violence, please continue going to therapy and engaging in therapy. And lastly, these are just, again, suggested tips or tricks on my channel here. And this video, again, is just about highlighting those red flags within an unhealthy or abusive relationship. So now, let's jump in and get started. Okay, the first warning sign to be aware of is isolation. And this can start off in terms of subtle behavior. So for instance, a partner might encourage us to not talk to individuals of the opposite sex or the same sex, might limit our friendship circle, might actually convince us over time that certain individuals within our circle of care maybe aren't as beneficial for us or aren't as positive for us. And then over time, our loved ones in our circle, they start to diminish and the circle becomes smaller and smaller, to the point where maybe only the only person that might be in our circle is our abusive partner. And this can happen, again, like I said, subtly over time. We might not even necessarily notice this. So it doesn't necessarily happen all at once. So this is just something to be mindful of, to be mindful that there are subtle signs of isolation over time, and then there are direct signs of isolation where a partner might say, I don't want you seeing this person, or I want you to end that relationship with that person, or it's me or this person. And then our circle becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. Number 2, another warning sign is beware of any aggressive behavior. Beware of the anger. So if we see these outbursts happening occasionally, take note of it. And then if it increases, beware of it. So for instance, do we feel like we're walking on eggshells? That when we talk, it seems to trigger their anger. Do they start throwing things? Are we fearful that our partner might be physical with us? This is a huge warning sign to be aware of their anger or potential aggression. And if you are fearful of your safety, please do go to your nearest hospital, contact the police, do what you need to do in order to keep yourself safe, including but not limited to calling a crisis line, or simply getting out of the house, going to a family member, going to a friend, somewhere where you can keep yourself safe. And this is important, especially when we look at the cycle of abuse. When we see how tension can really build, and then there's the explosion, and then after that, it's more of the groveling. Okay, I'm really sorry for what ended up happening. Okay, let's go out for dinner. Or I'm really sorry what happened. Here is a gift for my wrongdoing. And then it's the honeymoon phase, and then tension builds again, and the cycle continues. So please be aware of the anger, be aware of the aggression, because these are significant warning signs that can really impact our safety. So please do keep in mind. The third warning sign is power. So it's not uncommon within an unhealthy or abusive relationship to see this power and control dynamic. And what does that mean? Again, there's subtle signs of power. So that might be, let's say, our partner ordering food for us at a restaurant. That's a subtle sign of power. Or, again, limiting our social circle. Or even minimizing or limiting our access to funds. So this way we can't go out grocery shopping, buying food, or just getting gas, the normal necessities that we need to live by on a daily basis. So this power struggle and control is important to keep in mind, because we have within this relationship, within this particular dynamic, a dominant individual and a submissive individual. And it's not that we're sharing power like within a healthy relationship. It's one party who is trying to obtain all or most of the power within that relationship. And that's where it can be questionable in terms of, is this an abusive relationship? But please keep in mind, just because someone is angry in a relationship or someone seems to be a little bit more dominant in the relationship does not mean that the relationship is abusive. Again, it's really about looking at the bigger picture. If we're seeing more of these warning signs, then the likelihood of us being involved in that abusive relationship maybe is a little bit more likely. But again, it's taking it in isolation. If we're seeing just a few factors of these, we can still be involved in a healthy relationship and see aspects of dominance or aspects of power struggle or anger, and that can be relatively normal. But again, we're looking at it more so in the grand scheme of things. Are there many warning signs? Is safety an issue? Is power and control an issue? So if we're looking at all this together and we're check marking these boxes saying, yes, these are occurring more often, then maybe we need to reestablish if this is a healthy relationship for us or not. A fourth warning sign has to do with psychological availability. And that means essentially that our partner may not necessarily be emotionally available. So we might be talking about how we feel, we might be talking about our struggles in general, and maybe they're not listening. Or maybe they could care less, or maybe they start saying really mean things to us and hurtful things to us. So the psychological unavailability or emotional unavailability can again also be a trait or characteristic of an abusive relationship, but these warning signs aren't definite factors associated with abusive relationships. Lastly, the fifth warning sign is feeling crazy. It's not uncommon for an individual to feel like they're going crazy within a relationship, that their partner, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, whether it's a heterosexual relationship, a homosexual relationship, it doesn't really matter, right? If we feel that our partner is making us out to feel crazy, then this might also be a warning sign. So for instance, if we go up to our partner and we question his anger or aggression, or her anger or aggression, and they tend to shut us down and say, you're making stuff up, I don't know what you're talking about, this is all in your head, then we can be really confused. And that's not uncommon for that to occur, for that situation to occur, and to feel all confused.
You should probably call your office and let them know you're going to be gone for a few days.
That's my girl.
Or like 10 to 20 years.
What?
I'm going to talk to the police, Paul. I'm going to tell them every time you ever hurt me, every kick, every slap. You put your hands around my throat last night, so that's not just domestic violence, that's attempted murder. Will you testify? Yes.
You sound crazy.
No, I don't.
Jenny, I'm a well-known physician, and you're nobody. All you're gonna do is throw your career in the garbage. No one's gonna hire someone they don't trust.
No, I'm not going to let you scare me into backing down again.
So it's really about trying to step back and say, okay, let's take a look at these warning signs. Let's take a look at the development of the relationship and really try to analyze it to the best of our ability. We might be able to do this on our own. We might need help from a loved one or maybe a therapist to help us really see the underlying factors that are contributing to our problematic relationship and whatever that looks like. But it's not uncommon to really go through the motions and then to feel like there's a sense of insanity when there's actually not. We're just maybe in a position of manipulation or being lied to if we're in that unhealthy or abusive relationship, and we can't really focus on the bigger picture because we're fully immersed in what's going on within our romantic situation. So these are really just 5 warning signs, again, like I said, and these are just some of the warning signs. It's by no means an exhaustive list, but please do, if there's any other warning signs that you've noticed or you've experienced and you do want to highlight this for other people, please do leave a comment down below so this way we can help support individuals notice the subtle signs of abuse as well as the more direct signs of abuse. I thank you so much, guys, for taking the time to sit here and listen and chat with me today. I know it was a little bit of a heavier topic today, but I'm really hoping that this information can help you guys. And if you like this video and you like more videos similar to this, please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank you so much, guys, and have yourself a wonderful self-care day. Bye for now.